property, because you'll get real life demand. You know, if you run a test ad for 5-10 days with a good spec of room that you're going to actually be offering, so the same as what you're actually going to do, and you have a huge number of people wanting to rent the rooms, and you know you've got good demand. If you run that ad and you don't have that many people inquiring, then you know you might not be getting what you expect.
And what do you perceive as a good response rate, say, over a 10-day period against what would be a poor response rate?
One message a day to 2 messages a day. So
you'd see that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get 7 messages from, you know, people that actually are our tenants. So not someone that says, oh, I'm a student, or, you know, I've got some rabbits, can I live in your house? Like, actual professionals working who we would deem as our ideal tenant.
That's the minimum.
Minimum.
If you get like 5-6 people a day saying I want to rent your rooms, then buy that house.
Yeah, if you're getting 2-3 messages a day, that's really good, solid demand.
Yeah, because the property that I'm about to do, I'm running an advert on that, and I got something like 45 responses in 5 days.
Okay,
that's amazing.
That's why I was like, yeah, I've got to do this. And I've run some up here, and they've probably had that response rate, but I was like, oh, I don't think that's very good. Like, there's probably not any demand.
Where was the property that you were?
So I've tried a couple of areas around here. So I've tried Bury, Bolton.
Where was the one you got the 45 in 5 days?
In Poole.
Oh, in Poole.
Yeah,
okay.
in the south.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's where your house is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you turning that into an HMO, definitely.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. But I think that's the south. But what's Poole? How?
I mean, are there many HMOs in Poole?
Do they commute? What is there? What's the local employment?
There's a lot of local employment. It's like a mile away from the beach.
Yeah.
There's lots of transport links. It's central to like Poole and Bournemouth. People.
Bournemouth is just
big financial companies in Bournemouth. So you know, it's an area, for example, because I currently work full time at the university.
Yeah.
It's an area where the employment, they pay you less because there's so much demand to live in the area. Wow. Even though, for example, house prices are higher than average. Because people just want to live in that area. Yeah. And there is a good young professional market for HMOs.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the other thing is that whilst the HMOs down there are being let at a really good standards, like the product that you guys are delivering is kind of gone the next level up, and no one's doing that round there, which is where I think there's that slight gap in the market to actually, no one's raising the game round there, there's no competition. It's everyone's been doing it for like the last few years, their model works, they're happy to just leave it as is. So I'm like, well, people like you are doing it so much better. That's what I would love to bring into the market to offer.
Perfect. I mean, even outside of that, it sounds like you've got all the fundamentals: employment, transport, professional market, beach. So there's desirability to live there. You know, that's great. Outside of, you know, delivering a really high product, which is only just going to boost you over your competition, you've already got all the fundamentals of an area, which is really important. So we wouldn't do any 500 plus your council tax.
You're going to have to, because they'll just take off all your profit with that. It's rubbish.
You know, if each room is banded at, say, £100 a month, that's like £800 a month. And our rent on this property, our rent will be 4,000 because it's 8 rooms by 500, and that's us being conservative. We know we get 560 for our ensuite rooms, so 500, so £4,000 a month. We generally profit about 50% of our rent, or maybe just a little bit under. So our profit's going to be £2,000. If you're then paying 800 in council tax, that reduces your profit to 1,200 from £2,000. So yeah, hopefully it hasn't happened to us yet, but I know it is happening. And councils need money, so they will see that as an opportunity. And because there's so many HMOs now.
But it's like, so ultimately, it's the tenant that again that's going to lose, because it's going to be somehow you're going to one way or the other, you're going to offset it against them.
Exactly right.
And they do nothing to fix the housing crisis by doing this either. So it's like, what are they doing?
And Labour government, I mean, like changing Section 21 versus Section A, and then
they've done that in Wales pretty much. I think it's almost on the cusp of happening.
It's just ridiculous. It's like, we're making money from property. Well, yes, it's a business. We want the idea of a business is to make money, but we're also solving a problem and providing a solution. but they don't see that. And unfortunately, we, the good landlords, get hurt by all the ones that actually cut corners and don't do things properly.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the way. And then they don't even play by the rules anyway when the rules are put in place. They're just still going and doing what they were doing anyway.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what happens with the council tax. Because we sort of turn them as pods, so where you've got the self-contained kitchen en suite all in one space. But that's the way it seems to be going in our area, that they're going to start imposing council tax. So that's why I'm holding out for kind of doing that model. Just to see what happens, really.
Yeah, I think if you provide big enough communal spaces as well, with accurate amount of cooking appliances per tenant. So 5 tenants is for us 1 oven, 1 hob, 2 fridges. Anything above that, we would then add in an extra hob, oven, fridge. So here we'll have 2 massive fridges, 2 hobs, 2 ovens, 2 microwaves, 2 dishwashers, 2 sinks. Because it's 8 people.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think the pods, certainly in my area, they attract a different demographic to a HMO. So it will be, for example, men that are getting divorced, have got a family to pay for, but they can't afford a mortgage, don't want a house share because perhaps they might have their children around during the day, so they would rather pay for something like that. Older people that, 40 plus that don't have children, because a lot of people aren't choosing to have kids now. So, or, like people getting to retirement, I don't want to live in a big house share, but I can't afford a flat on my own. So actually I'm quite happy to live in one of these, I don't know what the official name of it, I call them like little pods.
Like city studios, city flats,
It's like a modern day, what is it, studio flat, isn't it?
Yeah. And some of them are anywhere from 20 square metres up to 30 square metres.
This will all come down. Normally we would just like overboard this kind of thing, but because we know that obviously it's had so much rot with all the damp, we'll just take this down and you can see all the cracks right through the middle of it. It doesn't look like it's that well supported. So this one will definitely come down.
Take it down, new plasterboard.
New plasterboard, skimmed over the top. But the ceiling height will stay as it is. And then this has got an ensuite. Well, it did actually have an ensuite before around there. So we've got supplies for waste and water and whatnot. So we're actually going to box like this out a little bit. So if you imagine there'll be like a wall here and a wall here. Sink will be like here, toilet there, and then shower will be.
And we're keeping the supplies where they are now. So that is the sink, the toilet, and the shower was originally there. So it just
makes it easier.
Yeah, it makes it easier. So final room upstairs.
Oh.
It's quite exciting because I haven't seen what they've done before. Really careful. Wow. So they've opened up all of that and all of that. Wow.
And you keeping this as it is, or are you building a thingy off the side? Yeah, you're building it off the side?
No, so it will stay as it is.
The current room. So you can see that's where that light well is. So we'll have to cover that up. And this will be
Right at the top, yeah. Right. So they actually we're going to have another roof light in here.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to let a lot more light in. Basically where those that stud work is at the moment, that will remain where it is. So that will be the back of the wall, and the same over there. They're just kind of like clearing everything out, and then we'll have to redo the whole thing. This room, technically, we shouldn't be allowed to rent as a bedroom, which we didn't find out until quite after we bought it, and I actually already had the planning permission through for change of use, so all of that was fine. Then we got the HMO officer to come around because we had a project manager involved in this one at the beginning, and he realised, so the rules are you can rent a room as long as it's 1.5 metres in height up. So from that point there to here is 1.5 metres. So we were like, well fine, we've got this whole room, okay, that space technically isn't rentable, They'll still have it for storage, but you can't count in the size of the room. Yeah. But we thought, well, the rest of the room is still well over, 6.5 square metres, so we're fine. There's a rule for Bury Council to say that even though that's the case, I think it was like 50% of the room has to be over 2 metres. Right? So 2 metres is like, what, here? Yeah. So, and obviously this little section all the way through, and also you can't count this bit because it's a staircase. So we were like, we're now under the room size. So it's like a little nuance that they had in their licensing rules. And we didn't find this out until like quite far down the line. So we're like, shit, because we need this room in order for the property to stack up, or else it's going to be on the refurb. So we actually had the HMO officer come round and look at it, and they looked at this room and they just used common sense basically and said, okay, even though technically it's not in the rules that you can do this, because the size of the room, we're going to allow it. So it is good, like definitely something we've learned is getting the HMO officer involved early on. Yeah. Another thing is they actually, well, it depends. Most HMO officers really like it because you're coming to them and you're like, tell me what to do. So you're kind of stroking their ego a little bit. Salford Council, interestingly, have started charging for that advice. So most councils, normally, they'd come around, they'd do it for free. And like I said, they'd actually enjoy coming around because they feel like they're being involved. And you're also, you're doing your HMO to the right specs. There's no surprises when you come to get a licence. I think with Salford Council, Article 4 has come in there because there are so many HMOs, and so I think they've just found this as well. One of our mentees has bought an HMO in the most expensive room that we have on our portfolio at the moment.
Really?
Yeah.
How much is it a month?
600. Yeah. So obviously it's got its own ensuite. With this, when we bought the property, the room itself was like, so the room next door, rather than eat into that room, because this room was so big, we built the ensuite into this room, and then the doorway is on the other side of this wall. So that's next door's ensuite. But even with that, even with essentially 2 ensuites, it's still such a big space.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And you don't notice that is someone else's ensuite.
No.
It seems like this is how it was meant to be with the, the TV and the drawers underneath. But this is a really, really good size room. And you've got a little desk here as well behind because a lot of people these days now tend to work from home. So if you can provide that, added functionality of just having a desk in the room in one of the little
view
corners.
of the palm trees as well, so you feel like you're in Hawaii. Yeah, no, I like it.
The sun beaming in.
This is great. This is.
Let's all move to Manchester. Live in one of our HMOs.
It's like a welcome pack.
Yeah, so I think this is the tenant that just moved out.
Oh, okay.
So there's a tenancy agreement, gas safety. Okay, so this is, there's someone in room 1 is room 3. Yes, shoes, to see if they're using
Is that the nail? Shoes. That's a really good idea. Just to try and encourage them to take shoes off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a brilliant. See it like that? Wow. It looks incredible.
I love that so far. That colour is, where's this from? Is it made.com or something?
Yeah.
Aren't they really expensive?
So there's an eBay store that you can get them for a fraction of the price.
And they're new or they're good enough?
They're new, they're brand new. Yeah.
Why are they cheaper? They're like second hand or something.
Yeah.
My house needs to look like this because it doesn't right now.
Sorry, it's just like more storage.
Ooh, I love that. That's a nice work surface.
So yeah, that's just concrete effect from Howden's worktop. So we used this in there. And that was quite a last minute addition, wasn't it?
And where'd you get your lights from?
IKEA.
IKEA?
Yeah, they're
iconic lights. These ones are like £6 or something ridiculous.
What?
Are these IKEA lights as well?
These are iconic. These are iconic.
Is iconic like a website?
Yeah, iconic lights. Yeah,
And that would lovely. That's
really.
Do you go out and source all the stuff yourself?
Yeah.
So we'll say, for example, in the kitchen, well, they'll just give you the measurements, and then you go and just say pick what units you want.
Yeah, so I used to design kitchens, which helps.
Yeah.
So before we even start doing this, I'll make sure we've got a plan. Then I'll tell the builders where to put the supplies. So, you know, I wanted the boiler to be hidden in a cupboard, so I made sure that was positioned here. You know, I knew where the fridge was going to go. With the electrics, it's a tricky thing to get right, because, like, for example, you see over there on the wall, there's like a panel. So that panel, and this is a good thing to ask a builder to do, that panel's got all the switches for all the appliances, so you can switch them all off independently on that panel. It's good because if you need to replace an oven or something like that, you can just switch it off from there rather than having the socket hidden behind the appliance, which is then difficult to get to. So
I've never seen that before, you know.
Yeah.
You've always just seen like the little
plugs
behind,
yeah. It's just a bit of a neat way of doing. Yeah, it's called a gang plate. So if you ask your builder to isolate all the switches on a gang plate, it means basically what he should then do is cut the plug off and hardwire it into the wall, and it means that if the fuse goes, it'll be in that rather than in the socket.
Sure.
Yeah, Rob stock tips.
What kitchen? Is this the one that the Howdens put on their page?
This is Howdens.
Oh damn, we're in that kitchen.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's nice, I like
It is gorgeous.
So we use that splashback is from a different company.
That bushboard.
Yeah.
How much does that cost?
Not much. It's like 50 quid. Between 50 and 100, I think, something like that.
Is it like rose gold or something?
It's
Or
brushed copper.
with LEDs underneath or no?
There's lights in the extractor.
Oh.
We did LEDs in another project, but we didn't do it.
I think it's just about
It's
the natural light, just bouncing off it.
Yes,
Yeah. And then these are Howdens. This is Howdens.
The handles are so cool.
Yeah, they are. So we supply them with a full kitchen of, you know, eggs, thingies,
Holders.
holders. I don't know why I bought them. Like,
So you give them actual eggs as I'm living here then if you give me 3 eggs every month.
Do you supply like
pots and
knives
pans.
for-
Yeah, this
just
is
so
all the stuff that
pretty
we've
much
supplied.
all the kitchen
Pots
basics.
and pans. I mean, they don't even look like they've been used, to be honest.
They don't talk.
And then each tenant has a cupboard. So like we label them. These are going to be pretty empty because there's not many tenants moved in. Well, this tenant's just moved in. Get an idea of
So
what
they've got their own cupboard.
Yeah, everyone's got their own cupboard. Everyone's got their own shelf in the fridge and the freezer, all labelled, so there's no confusion about where do I put my stuff.
Where is the fridge and freezer? Did I miss something?
It's integrated over there. And then yeah, these are all like the plates and
That's
cups
so
and
cool.
cutlery and things
I
like that.
love interior design. It's amazing.
And then we've got cleaner cupboard, so right, Hoover, ironing board, iron, broom. But we have a fortnightly clean that comes in and does the communal spaces, and then any communal bathroom. So that bathroom will always be done because it's essentially not in their room.
Yeah.
So it's better. That's a perk for the person that has the room that has an off suite. Is their off suite gets cleaned every fortnight.
Of course, yeah.
So this is the off suite for number 1.
Yeah.
No, number 4.
No, sorry, yeah. No.
Oh, this is the one where they have to
Upstairs,
get. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So they have to come down here and go in here. Now, unfortunately, you might not want to film this. The toilet seat.
Oh yeah, it got
So
changed.
they haven't changed the toilet seat
It's
with
abstract, Art Deco. It works.
I don't like.
I will make sure this is on camera for everyone.
They will just pause on that. It's a great design feature.
These are cool. These are cute. Look at those.
So yeah, I mean you get those from IKEA. So we look like
IKEA's just incredible.
Like you know what, we know the layout of every single IKEA back to front. You know all those little shortcuts that you get. I just know where they are. We've been through IKEA so many times. So you know every time we go through, it was like, oh, that would be cool or something.
Yeah.
And so it's all those things. I think we actually were intending to put them in another property. Those coat racks. Didn't use them, so then we've got like a lot of bags and bags of stuff that we don't use on previous projects,
take
and
to the next,
eventually they get used up.
Yeah.
And when you dress a property, you give them everything you've dressed it with?
So in the living room, this kind of stays. So this styling piece and the styling piece in the kitchen and the good vibes, that all stays. In the bedrooms, once it's tenanted, we take out all the bedding, all the cushions, all the throws, and we just leave in the lamps and the art. Because, you know, everyone has their own bedding.
Yeah.
And if you leave a cushion or you leave a throw at the end of the tenancy, they're like, oh, I don't know what happened to the cushion or throw. And you can't, it's very difficult to deduct it from the deposit because it's, what is it worth today? Well, I bought it 6 months ago for £6 a cushion. What's the value of the cushion today? It's £4. I deduct £4 from your deposit. It's better to just take it away, put it in a box in storage, and then we have it for the next time that room's available to redress, or we use it on another room.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And do you have any tips in terms of trying to get the tenants to be economical with the utilities? So, you know, not leaving the lights on, not being you know, when it's the middle of the summer, not just chucking the heating on because they're a bit cold. Is there any sort of incentives that you give them that you think they respond to, or is it just something that, you know, you don't have any
It's just
control over?
monitoring the bills. So what we've done up until now is we've always had the prepaid. So we're moving towards, we had build. So, but that works on actual and estimates.
Yeah.
So we're moving towards having prepaid smart meters so that we can just top them up each online, so we can see exactly what they're spending. So if there's like a
automatic
spike,
top up, so you don't have to do it yourself, just
Yeah.
interject. So basically what happens is £50 comes out every time it needs to top up the electricity. So we'll be able to see how many lots of £50 are coming out every month. So it's more a reaction to like so like say for instance in winter, if someone's gone out and bought an electric heater and is like hammering that for a month and loads of £50 come out, then you'll know.
yeah.
And then how would you go about with dealing with that? You know,
Well, we would alert the letting agent, and we would say, look, we've had a massive spike in gas usage this month. Can you go around and see if anyone's using, you know, gas heater or electric heater? What is the reason? See if there is a reason, and just having a conversation with the tenants. I mean, a lot of people use the Hive system as well with the boiler.
Yeah, what is? Because I've seen that, but I've not looked into.
The kitchen, running all the way through here, this whole bit from about there onwards is getting knocked down, completely rebuilt. Because one of the things with this is you can see that wall on the right. It's just like a single skin brick, and then that's how it works. So that's like never going to pass with building control. So you've got to take this out, and then do new foundations, new slab, insulated slab, and then we're going to rebuild this, and then this whole thing's coming out, and then the height of this will go up a little bit more. So we've got like a good head height all the way through. So you'll come into here and it'll be level rather than having this step.
So you're knocking this down like totally?
Completely down, and then there'll be a big bedroom out the back, and then the communal part of this will probably finish about here. So this will all be, in this one we're doing a basement cinema room.
What?
Pretty cool, right?
That's so cool.
So in this one, normally we will have in the communal space, we'll have kitchen, dining, and like a sofa with a TV, but we're just going to do kitchen, dining. So this is all kitchen, and then we're going to do like a banquette seating around the side there with a big table, pendant lights over the top. It'll still be a nice area to chill out, but it's just really kitchen, dining, and then downstairs will be big L-shaped sofa, a couple of like big armchairs. We were thinking about doing like a projector, but like we reined ourselves back in.
Oh, that would have a massive projector. It'd be so cool for like the movies.
Yeah, and so it's like, look at this. So there's this guy on YouTube, right, and he's made like a ceiling with like, he drills holes in like these MDF boards and then paints them black, and then he gets like fibre optic lights and puts it on the ceiling, and it looks like a starscape on the ceiling.
Your meter readings if it is billed, but if it's not billed, using prepaid smart meters, so you can top up online and automatically. So if your credit goes to 10, it automatically tops up, like what Rob was saying, £50, £50.
And with the prepaid smart meters, can you still apply for normal gas and electricity deals?
Yeah.
It's just a different.
Yeah.
And do you have to get in different meters? Do you have to pay for the meters to be swapped?
You don't have to
pay for the meters, but they do have to come and change the meters.
Yeah.
So they come in and they'll do that for you, but they won't charge you.
The OVO
OVO.
Yes,
I've
used them before.
Yeah, I think
They're really good.
We're just in the process of changing all of our gas and electric over to their prepaid smart meters, so that we can monitor our spending every month, and we can capture any spikes and get onto it and find the reason behind it.
And do you put any fair use clause in contracts? Because that's what some people
I think it's automatically in an AST, in the ones that we have. So far we haven't had to implement any issues around it. So, I mean, one thing we do in the communal hallways is these are all on sensor lights. So the lights come on. So that light doesn't have a switch.
Yeah.
So it basically just comes on when you walk into the hallway, and then it will go off.
Yeah.
So you're not relying on tenants. Yeah. Sarah. Which room is tenanted?
You can go into room 1. So go to the
Oh,
room
so
2.
nice. I can feel it.
Room 2 and 4.
2 and 4.